Though it may sound intimidating, learning to analyze other people is not nearly as difficult as it may initially seem. There are no complicated rules that you need to memorize or any skills that you really need to learn. All you have to do is learn the pattern of behaviors and what they mean. This is because once you know the behaviors, you can usually start to piece together the intent behind the behaviors. You can begin to figure out exactly what it is that someone's eyes narrowing means, and then begin to identify it with the context of several other actions or behaviors as well. You can figure out what is intended when someone's speech and their body language do not match up. Body language rarely lies when people are unaware of how it works, so you can oftentimes turn to it for crucial information if you are interacting with other people. The reason this works to understand people is because it is commonly accepted that there is a cycle between thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. Your thoughts create feelings, and the feelings you have automatically influence your behaviors, as you can see through body language. Most of the time, this is an entirely unconscious cycle. You are unaware of it happening. However, several schools of therapy have chosen to identify and utilize this cycle, such as cognitive behavioral psychology. When you are able to recognize that this cycle exists, you can take advantage of it. You can begin to utilize your understanding of the cycle in order to follow it in reverse. Effectively, you will be looking at behaviors that people display and then tracing them back to the feelings behind them. This is why body language is so important to understand. When you can understand what is going on with someone's behavior, you can understand their feelings. When you understand their feelings, you can begin to figure out the underlying thoughts that they have. This is about the closest thing to mind reading that you can ever truly attain. In order to analyze other people, you have a simple process to get through. You must first figure out the neutral baseline of behavior. This is the default behavior of the person. You must then begin to look for deviations in that neutral behavior. From there, you try to put together clusters of behaviors to figure out what is going on in the mid of someone else, and then you analyze. This process is not difficult, and if you can learn how to do so, while also learning how to interpret the various different types of body language, you will find that understanding other people could never be easier. Establish a neutral baseline behavior set. The most important aspect of being able to analyze someone else is through learning how to identify their baseline behavior. If you can do this, you can effectively allow yourself to identify how that person behaves in a neutral setting. Effectively, you will learn what that person's quirks may be. For example, someone who happens to be reserved or particularly timid is likely to show several common signs of discomfort, even by default. They may cross their arms to shield their body, or stand defensively and refuse to make eye contact. As you will learn later through reading, this is a common body language that is regularly exhibited by those who are lying and do not know how to cover their tracks. However, the timid person is probably not lying if their behavior by default involves crossing arms and refusing to make eye contact. Because people's baseline personality types and quirks vary so drastically from person to person, this becomes a critical first step, and you must make it a point to never skip it. Otherwise, you would assume that any shy person must be trying to deceive you. Getting that picture of baseline personality and nonverbal communication quirks is crucial. Identify deviations from neutral behaviors. Once your baseline has been established, you can begin to identify any deviations from it. This means that you can figure out which of the behaviors that you are seeing do not match up with what you have come to expect via your initial observations. This stage can occur during all sorts of interactions. You may ask a question and then observe to see what the response will be in order to determine whether that person is answering truthfully. You can probe and look for signs of discomfort. You can effectively test to see how convincing you are being when you are trying to persuade someone to do something. Identify clusters of deviations. Of course, just identifying those individual deviations is not always enough. You must also make it a point to recognize clusters of the deviations in order to get the true picture. When you get to reading body language, you will see that much of human body language can be interpreted in different ways depending on context, and oftentimes, you need to get that context from looking at other behaviors that are occurring in conjunction with the behaviors you are analyzing. For example, there are several behaviors in deception that could have several meanings, but as soon as they occur together, you can usually infer that there is some level of deception occurring, which means that you need to proceed with caution. Understanding behavior and communication. Indirect methods. While directly analyzing brains isn't possible, psychology offers various indirect methods to understand people's thoughts, feelings, and motivations. These involve observing behavior, communication, and reactions to situations. Focus on behavior, not manipulation. It's important to approach this understanding ethically and respectfully. The goal shouldn't be to manipulate or control others, but rather to build empathy, communication, and collaboration. Here are some helpful approaches. Active listening. Pay close attention to what people say, both verbally and non-verbally. Ask clarifying questions and avoid interrupting. Observing behavior. Notice people's actions, expressions, and body language. What do these nonverbal cues communicate? Understanding context. Consider the situation and context in which the behavior occurs. What might be influencing their actions? Seeking diverse perspectives. Talk to people from different backgrounds and experiences to gain broader understanding. Remember, analyzing people is a complex process that requires sensitivity and respect. Focus on fostering genuine connection and understanding rather than trying to read minds. Ever wonder what's really going on in someone's head? You're not alone. Understanding and predicting people's behavior is a superpower we all crave. While mind reading remains firmly in the realm of fiction, psychology offers powerful tools to unlock the secrets behind our actions. But before we delve in, remember, ethics matter. Analyzing someone without their consent is like reading someone's diary without permission, wrong on so many levels. Respect privacy, avoid manipulation, and steer clear of stereotypes. People are complex, not robots to be programmed. Ready to unravel the mystery? Buckle up. 1. Body language, the unspoken truth. Our bodies talk even when our lips are sealed. Observe posture, gestures, and facial expressions. Remember, context is key. A furrowed brow might mean confusion in one situation, but anger in another. Don't jump to conclusions, gather clues. 2. Personality detectives. The Big Five, Myers-Briggs. These frameworks offer glimpses into personality tendencies. Remember, they're starting points, not fortune-telling machines. Each person is a unique blend of traits, not just a neat label. 3. Decoding biases. We all have biases, mental shortcuts that can lead to predictable choices. Understanding common biases like confirmation bias helps you navigate these mental roadblocks. 4. Needs make us tick. What drives people? Maslow's hierarchy of needs suggests we strive to fulfill basic needs like safety and belonging before pursuing higher-level goals like self-actualization. Identifying someone's dominant needs sheds light on their motivations. 5. Emotional intelligence, the secret weapon. Understanding and managing emotions is key to understanding people. Observe how someone expresses and regulates their emotions. It reveals volumes about their personality and tendencies. Beyond the basics, context is king. Analyze behavior in its unique setting. What's normal in one situation might be out of character in another. Look for patterns. Don't focus on isolated cues. See how they cluster and interact. A single closed fist doesn't always mean anger. Consider what else is happening. Listen deeply. What people say and how they say it matters. Ask open-ended questions to encourage elaboration and uncover deeper thoughts. Seek diverse perspectives. Don't rely solely on your own interpretations. Consult others with different backgrounds and experiences. Remember, analyzing people isn't about mind-reading or manipulation. It's about building empathy, understanding, and effective communication. Use this knowledge ethically, respectfully, and always with a genuine curiosity to connect with your fellow human beings. Thanks for watching our video on the hidden psychology and analyzing people's mind. If you found it informative, don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more intriguing insights into the human mind.